So, the anti-piracy crowd is at my throat again. No matter how much I try to have a nuanced discussion about copyright law, there's always a bunch of people who say, no, it's always stealing. If you gain access to a product without paying the price that the manufacturer agreed on, that is stealing. So in the spirit of Due Discourse December, I'm going to humor that thought and list a couple other ways that you can gain access to products without paying the manufacturer's agreed price. So by the logic of this argument, these should also count as stealing. The most common one is buying a used game. Not only is the price different from the manufacturer's agreed price, none of the money goes to a manufacturer, it all goes to the retailer. Number 2, using any family content sharing ability on Steam, PlayStation, so on and so forth. These essentially allow you to make limited copies of the game for free, and no money ends up going to a manufacturer. If you ever bought a game on sale, on a Steam sale, same deal. Usually these are massive markdowns either because a game isn't selling or a holiday's coming up and they'll make it up in volume. But a manufacturer has very little say in that. Valve basically gets to decide it. Did you ever lend a game to a friend, give a game to a friend, or even have a friend play a game over at your house? They gain access to the full game without paying a cent. Have you ever gone to a game room or an arcade at a convention? Anyone can play the games there as much as they want without any pricing agreement agreed on by the manufacturer. Have you ever bought wholesale game bundles at, say, Costco or BJ's? These console and game bundles are set by the wholesaler. They don't have anything to do with the manufacturer's suggested price. Actually, if we want to be really super technical, even if you buy a game from GameStop at full price at launch, you're giving no money to the publisher or manufacturer. Because that's not how retail works. Your money doesn't get funneled to them that way. GameStop has already purchased a bulk lot of the games that they think they'll be able to sell. This is factoring in piracy and other ways to get the game. So by the time the product hits store shelves, the publisher already has their money. The developers already have their money. When you buy a game, the person you're giving money to is the retailer. So if you actually want to argue that you're taking money out of someone's pocket, you're taking money out of the retailer's pocket. But if you ever buy digital distribution games on something like the PlayStation Store, you're doing the same thing. All that money goes directly to Sony because they don't actually have to order any copies. They just have a bulk license to digitally distribute as many copies as they want. Every single one of these scenarios is an instance of you gaining access to a product without paying a manufacturer's agreed price. And all I'm asking for is some logical consistency. If not paying a manufacturer's agreed price makes piracy stealing, it makes all this other stuff stealing too. And you should be just as upset when someone buys a used game. And if you're not, once again, I'm not saying that piracy is always okay, but maybe you should actually examine what you're angry at. Because it might be that you're using the fact that you're anti-piracy to feel morally superior to other people. And that's just really disingenuous.